Wait, are we on already?
Yes.
Oh, shit, let me save my game.
Oh,
As I say, we can't keep using this copywritten music.
I know, right?
All right, all right.
why don't you
Well,
just save the game?
I didn't know it was
Do
on.
it!
Okay.
everybody, welcome to Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse, a determinedly drunk, geeky, and cheerful podcast. We're wolves and we house in a tree and we entertain. That's Shudra. He makes noise, mostly randomly.
I do it better.
That's debatable, but we'll have a contest about that later. We're here to bring you all the latest entertainment news. S.E.T is it's a lot like a music appreciation class. We discuss certain topics and we see if people or how people would react to them in different ways. So I am Zack Gray, but the master of ceremonies here is.
I am Scarfy. How is everyone doing today?
We also have Kruz.
Shit.
Well, shit. Kruz will not be known as shit. Fantastic. All right.
Crows.
First Sunday.
And last but certainly not least, we have
I'm so done.
Shudra. All right, and kicking us off on this discussion is Scarfy. I just wanted to steal his thunder at the beginning because I'm a dick like that. So Scarfy, what are we doing?
Well, today we have a bunch of stuff that we need to talk about because you have no idea. We have a ton of stuff for the agenda today. I just want to remind each and every one of you that due to Zootopia being released on the weekend of March 4th, its original release date, we will not be having a show on March 6th because, unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people are going to be paying attention when so many people is going to be blowing up on Zootopia and paying attention to nothing else. However, to make up for that, we will be bringing a special guest with us to Subwoofer Entertainment Treehouse on the 13th. So mark your calendars for the 13th down. And the special guest could be anybody, and no one knows who the special guest is. It could be anyone. It could be,
I do.
Well, keep it a secret for the other people, Shuja.
I was gonna say, if no one knows who the special guest is, are we screwed? Like, if you don't know who the special guest is, Scarfy, and none of us do, then I think it's just a normal show. That or I'll pick up some drifter.
I know who the special guest is, and I'm going to be giving him the agenda, so he'll know everything what's going on. And yes, it's a he.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Right now,
I am not.
oh my gosh. Okay, so let's get into movies. Our first movie that we have is a film called London Has Fallen. It's a sequel that is coming on, I believe, March 4th as well. Yeah, a lot of things are coming on March 4th. I mean, I can't believe so many movies are coming out on March 4th and March 11th here. But anyways, London Has Fallen. Capping off from a polarizing sequel, Olympus Has Fallen, which I have never seen before. The film takes place in London. The British Prime Minister has died under mysterious circumstances, and his funeral is a must-attend event for leaders of the Western world. What starts out as the most protective event of Earth turns into a deadly plot to kill the world's most powerful leaders and unleash a terrifying vision of the future, except for the American President of the United States. The only hope of stopping it rests on the shoulders of the U.S. President Benjamin Asher, his formidable U.S. Secret Service lead agent Mike Banning, played by Gerard Butler, Vice President Alan Trumbull, played by Morgan Freeman, and a British M16 agent played by Charlotte Riley, who rightly trusts no one. All in all, the film looks absolutely interesting, to say the least, but I can't help to think what the Joker has said in The Dark Knight has come true. If tomorrow I tell the press that, like, a gangbanger will get shot or a truckload of soldiers will be blown up, nobody panics, but it's all part of the plan.
Enough.
Old mayor will die, well, then everyone loses their minds. But seriously, in all fairness, this film looks good, to say the least, but I'm really surprised that this film is a sequel to Olympus Has Fallen. But to go from a North Korean point of terrorism to an Al-Qaeda point of terrorism between 3 years in a movie, yeah, I can see that. The movie will be released on March 4th.
First of all, Scarfy, you failed terribly.
I will admit, I've seen so many memes of everybody loses their freaking mind of the Joker that I forgot what the original line was.
Yeah.
To this point, I heard it like Scarfy did. It's like, oh crap, that is what the original is.
Yeah. To be honest, like I'm not even sure. I can't believe this is a sequel to Olympus Has Fallen. And don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing the film, but at any time. But the fact that it has a sequel,
Well, I was gonna say you said you haven't seen Olympus Has Fallen, so
I haven't, and I'm not too sure if I'm going to see this movie either. Maybe it'll be better than Olympus Has Fallen. Maybe it'll be worse. Maybe I should start watching Olympus Has Fallen. I'm not too sure, but you know what?
check the chat for recommendations.
Well, people really like Morgan Freeman apparently. So and Morgan Freeman, as we all know, is God. So
Bruce Almighty, yeah, right.
Bruce Almighty. I have so many good quotes from Bruce Almighty. People are drenched, soaking to death on a stupid boat with a stupid hat. While others are in a comfortable studio, sucking up all the glory. Oh well, no big deal.
No, Captain Ahab, your time has come.
Oh gosh,
Well,
Evan Almighty was awful. I'm sorry to say, Bruce Almighty was just too better.
it's really hard to follow up anything Jim Carrey does. I mean,
I agree, and don't get me wrong, I love Steve Carell. He's hilarious, but I'm sorry, Jim Carrey just kind of takes the cake. But I'm not too sure. Maybe it will be. What do you think, Zach? What do you think about this film?
I haven't heard. This is one of the ones that I have not heard a damn thing about. It's interesting, like you said, just doing the whole terrorism from a different nationality than what by and large America currently faces or puts more of its interest in, more of the stress on. Because we have had strained relations with other countries, obviously, and there is a lot of injustice and crazy shit and there are dictatorships in plenty of countries, and North Korea has definitely got a long history of shit going down. But I don't personally. These type of movies usually aren't my thing. It sounds like it's gonna be more of a slightly dramatic action thriller from the sound of it. And I mean, sometimes they're nice, but I think the closest I get to any sort of action thriller anything, because I'm a complete Euro nerd, is Doctor Who, and otherwise I usually don't find them that interesting, but you slap a Doctor Who label on it and I'm usually there. So you can post your love and hate for that fact as you like in the chat. I don't care either way. It's not going to change what I do, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm just not a huge action movie guy normally, not since Bruce Willis was a big... Think back when Bruce Willis was still a star was the last time I was really watching action movies.
Bruce Willis is actually amazing.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
Bruce Willis made that genre.
That's true.
What do you think, Kruz? What do you think about this film?
Usually I'm a fan of these movies, but they're not meant to be. They're not really impactful to me. But I just do it for the enjoyment of them. So I'm gonna go. Probably try to see this one because it's a good time and enjoying watching shit blow up. I mean,
right.
Who doesn't enjoy that?
There you go.
And
course, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman is awesome.
I mean, it looks like it's going to be a wild ride.
Right. How about you, Shuja? Are you going to see this film?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna get one thing out of the way. You are terrible at the Joker. Second,
Come on.
Damn.
You expect him to be Heath Ledger?
Oh man.
Secondly, you get my hopes up, but when you keep talking about the film, you just kill my hope. Because for a second there, I thought this kind of one of the movie come out in 2012 or 13 about the world come to an end, aliens show up, and the end of the world. It's London has fallen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. So you thought it was a redo of that?
Terrorism, those fuck.
Oh.
I thought it was
Nope, not my kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
All right. Well, should we get on with our next film then?
Sure.
All right. Our next film is a film called The Other Side of the Door, which is a psychological horror film. After the death of her son Oliver, young mother Maria struggles with the loss along with her feelings toward her daughter Lucy and her husband Michael. Seeking a ritual to say a final farewell to Oliver, Maria meets an old woman who says that she can see her son back at a temple, but she's apparently not allowed to open the door for whatever that means. She sees him, but he says he has to go until, one is shocked, she inadvertently opens the door between the worlds of the living and the dead, unleashing a horrific figure in the form of her son. The trailer, in my honest opinion, was beautifully executed. The paint, the pacing, the editing, the colors, everything pops in this trailer. And while I wasn't scared from seeing it, it may be the film I'd actually want to go see because the trailer had me sold on it. And personally, I cannot wait. The movie will be released on March 4th.
It sounds a lot like most of the J-horror stuff. I mean, just from the way you set it up, it sounds like something I'd expect to be from like most like, admittedly, it has nothing to do with this game, I'll admit. But my first thing that I thought of was, God, what's that movie called? Not movie, sorry, that game. The Fatal Frame.
Yeah,
games.
I was
It's
thinking you're gonna mention that.
yeah, like it reminded me a lot of that, just without the creepy twin sister and all that. But still, but it sounds interesting. I'm not a huge horror fan. When I was younger, I used to be scared of them, like properly, and I never enjoyed the feeling of being scared. And now, for anyone ever watched Mystery Science Theater 3000, I do that whenever I watch horror movies. So people hate watching horror movies with me because I'm just making fun of them. So, but it sounds. I like it. I think I would like it as a book. I think it's a cool story, but I have no interest in seeing it. So.
Oh, really? You don't have any interest in seeing the movie? I mean, like, I like the intro at the beginning, and it looked beautiful, to say the least. But then, like, when it quickly goes, like, where everything goes to hell, it just made me all the more intrigued. What do you think, Kruz?
I haven't heard of this horror movie, but I don't know, it kind of reminds me of The Woman in Black in a way. Like how it's, you're not supposed to go to this place, and then once you go to this place, you find out there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
But it definitely seems like an interesting setup to me, at least.
I'm gonna laugh right now. I love what Shutter just said. The other side of the door, there is something spooky and horrific on the other side. A dude sitting on the throne.
Ah, shit.
I'm not gonna say right now. Like I do think that this horror film looks great. But what do you think about this movie, Shucha?
The bad guy, the one who's like supposed to be a ghost, looked a lot like Johnny Depp.
The bad guy in this film?
In this
it's
film?
just like, oh my god, is that Johnny Depp?
Really? Okay.
Just watch the trailer. That look like Johnny Depp.
Hold on.
No, really.
Oh yeah, I can kind of see it.
Wait, is there like an image that you can send to the people? Because this actually sounds intriguing.
I don't know if I can screen capture that fast. I'll try if you want to just move on to whatever.
No. If we have to move on, it's fine. It's just that I'm wondering. I want to know, like, if it's like something that should be mentioned, or
I don't think
I wouldn't go that far, but we'll see.
Look like it.
Well, like.
And another thing, I never really big fan of horror movie
Oh, okay.
because, well, one is for my family side because my mom really believed in this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like every time I turn on a horror movie, I say, oh no, please, mom, not show up. She show up.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well,
It's just like at the end of every like movie, I just have to listen to the lesson.
Oh yeah, she's one of those. I know the feeling.
Yeah,
Lecture
yeah,
after
I don't know what it is. I can't stand those people who just want to get in your business when you don't want them to be in your business.
All right, here's the
image.
I just put the image up in a very like Jack Sparrow with even more drinking and even more dirty way. I guess that's sort of what I'm seeing it as. If this is the right,
it kind of looks like Johnny Depp, but I don't really.
But Johnny Depp also can change how he looks, moves, and act. Like I will say one thing, I don't mean to fawn over him, but he does a fantastic job taking on different roles. Like I'm always impressed.
He is a human
Johnny Depp
amoeba.
By what Johnny Depp does. It's like that's quick.
You know my whole stance on Johnny Depp, unfortunately, because
same role every time, but he does
but he does a damn good job doing it.
Yeah, I mean, like granted, I have that same argument with Brad Pitt. I think Brad Pitt, except for in Snatch, he's always played the same character to me. But Johnny Depp, like just knowing the different movies I've seen him in, because I've seen him in like obviously the Pirates movies, obviously Sweeney Todd. There's a whole bunch of other ones. I saw him. What's the one where he was chasing Jack the Ripper and he was a detective?
I forgot.
I can't remember. But he's done just like I never, for the longest time in Sleepy Hollow, like I didn't realize the first time I watched those movies it was the same actor because I didn't know who Johnny Depp was. I didn't even recognize him. And then people
Have you ever
pointed
seen
out,
Ed Wood?
Ed Wood?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
You should, because he does a terrific job playing Ed Wood.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. Our next film is a film that I think should really interest Zach in a way. It's called Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
I was waiting for this.
Scarfy, that's stereotype.
It's not a stereotype. He's not a fox. He just really likes booze.
I do.
Wait, he's referring to whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, if you don't know, if you're trying to understand why this film is called Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, it's a code, sort of way of typing
Naval code for
WTF, basically. Anyway, it's an upcoming American comedy war film directed by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa and written by Robert Carlock, based on the memoir The Taliban Shuffle: Strange Days in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And while working as a war correspondent in Afghanistan and Pakistan during Operation Enduring Freedom, Kim Barker, Tina Fey develops a crazy relationship with a fellow journalist from Scotland, Martin Freeman. The film also stars Kim Barker. The film also stars Margot Robbie, Christopher Abbott, Billy Bob Thornton, Alfred Molina, Nicholas Braun, and Sheila Vand. It is scheduled to be released by Paramount Pictures. And upon looking at this film, I thought it was kind of going to be one of those like art house films that would have been nominated for an Academy Award. But as I looked at this film, I'm both surprised and humored by it. Like, it has also comedic value in that people actually have gone to a place like Afghanistan and has also talked about their experiences as well. But in all fairness, I think there are certain values to it when it comes to in real life journalist perspective over a place like Afghanistan, and especially on the world of terrorism and whatnot. I don't know about you, Zach. What do you think?
I think that a lot of these movies about like that just sort of further delve into the stuff going on with or both hypothetical and relatable events of terrorism and terrorist issues. By the way, I just realized that I have not switched over. There we go. Our little image from stream starting soon to the contact info. So I'd like to take a brief moment to say that apologies for that. Of course, we have started for anyone who's here, but if we have bits later where, well, yeah,
we're starting.
I was gonna say if we have parts later where we of course love where we love
We
feedback
still haven't
from
started
you.
yet.
Oh, I want.
Are you done? Are
Yeah.
you? Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Oh gosh.
But so we have this open, so we have an email address for questions later and a Twitter where you can reach us as well. So that's what that is for.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah. Please, if you guys could just be kind and follow us on Telegram. We also have a Tumblr account. Not Telegram, Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, and you can also follow our Tumblr account, which is Subwuffer Entertainment as well. You could also send us an email that we can read on subwooferentertainment@gmail.com. We would love to hear your input. Please do that if you have any questions that you want to ask us personally. So you were saying, Zach, about this.
It's basically a lot of these movies of terrorism and everything have been coming out more and more, and they've been. I noticed that it's been a bigger and bigger thing with, the 9/11 attack onwards. It's always going to be a thing that America has been focusing on. We've been focusing on terrorist-related films before there's ever that huge incident, but I don't know. I feel like it's slowly getting, even no matter how many ways you like try to frame. To me, it seems like it's always the same content, sort of the same story, even when you change up the characters. So no matter how much garnish or framing or quality checks you do with an apple, by the end of the day, it's still an apple. So I feel like we're just getting the same thing over and over with these movies.
Speaking of Apple, it's like
Polish a turd, it's still a
I kind of find it interesting when it comes to like terrorism. Now that we bring up terrorism up, exactly, it's kind of interesting how, how Tim Cook from Apple says that creating this one code to open this one phone is basically a paradox box or whatever.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Pandora's box.
You mean you haven't heard about what's going on with Apple and the FBI?
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Nope.
No. Well, for those of you who don't know, it's basically there's this like thing going on with Apple, and they're trying to hook up this one code to this one phone so that they can get information on like terrorism and stuff. But Apple is basically saying, no, we cannot do that because it's a Pandora's box. Once it is created, it cannot be destroyed. So, it's kind of like a person opening a tree, making a tree.
It's gonna bite us in the ass later.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know what? I totally respect his decision on it. But, that's just me. Anyway, Kruz, what do you think about this film and comedy and terrorism and all that?
2 words that don't normally go together. Sorry.
I know, right?
Terrorism. Funny? No, that's the only thing I could say. That's horrible. But I have not seen the trailer. I've heard of this one. I mean, the title looks pretty. What the fuck with official, naval code letters. So, I think it's going to be more of like a. Not sacrilegious, but like taking what originally would think would be revered with respect as something that's comical, like a comical experience in context of like, some place like Afghanistan, which, I mean, yeah, it could be funny.
Right.
What do you think about this film, Shuja? It's always that from you. Shuja?
It's
What?
a thinking noise.
Well, what do you think about this movie?
Well, you say it's only for me, so I'm just gonna say quiet then.
That's not what I mean. It's
you
just
touched
like,
a nerve.
all right, well,
Shots fired.
no, seriously, do you have anything to say about this movie?
I don't know, because one, I really never interest in like war kind of film, but comedy and war, that just sound a little bit too strange for me.
Me
love you long time.
I don't know who
It's
said
like, what's
that
the point?
of you two, but I'm shaming you both now. Oh, that is wow. Oh man, that's anyway. Gonna move on from that.
Yeah, I said it.
Shame. Like, honest shame.
Dishonor your family. Dishonor your...
All right.
I guess our next. Is there a problem?
No. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go on.
Our next, well, it's not a film per se, but it is very keynoting for interest. House of Cards Season 4 will be released on March 4th as well. Man, a lot of stuff is coming out on March 4th. The next season of House of Cards will debut on Netflix for those who carry it. The series stars Kevin Spacey as Frank Underwood, a ruthless political leader, as well as Robin Wright as his wife, discussing and pointing out the political loopholes that put certain people into power. Unfortunately, there is not much I can talk about this one because I have only seen an X amount of episodes regarding the series, and since it's a continuing series, I can't spoil it much. But I think the trailer may interest you if you like. I know Esto's a big fan of the series, so I'm pretty sure you might be if you love politics as much as the other guy. So, yeah. I'm not too sure if you guys are a House of Cards or if you watch it on Netflix. I'm not even sure if there are some people who have Netflix, but, just not too sure.
Yeah, my family is Netflix. I've seen, I think, seasons 1 and 2. I enjoyed it pretty much.
Oh, you like House of Cards?
Cool.
I've enjoyed what I've seen so far. I haven't watched it any time recently, but I think season 1 and 2 I watched up to the part where Frank was elected president, I think.
Spoiler alert.
It's pretty interesting. Hey.
A fan of
the
series is either I see, and if it's spoiled for anybody, then apologies, but that's on you. It's apparently on Netflix, so you can apparently go see it your damn self. But
yeah.
It's been out there for quite a while. I think you could have found it by
I'm surprised
now.
they're only on season 4. Like, I remember hearing about the series for what feels like years and years now. It's like they're only on season
Well,
4.
Around for a while.
Well, believe it or not, there's actually like this British House of Cards that we never watch, but personally, because
Damn.
apparently Kevin Spacey is so handsome to watch in
Well,
terms of his acting.
We've learned
Yeah.
something new about
Kevin
Scarfy today.
Kevin Spacey's a great.
What are you talking about?
Tell us more about your infatuation with this actor.
Coffee, you worry me sometimes.
actor.
Oh dear.
Kevin Spacey's handsome.
I mean, Shija, do you have Netflix and do you even watch House of Cards or no? Not really.
I do have Netflix, but yes,
This longest was brought to you by Subwuffer Entertainment.
I'm not really getting to like most of the show on Netflix because one, I have schoolwork, and two, I only like when stuff have fluffiness in it.
Okay.
Like I said,
It's not,
yeah.
politics is not very fluffy.
That is true. There's not enough. Can we all agree there's not enough fluffiness in politics? Can that just
Yeah,
be
there
stated?
there is not enough fluffiness in politics. Well, I do know some
What?
political science majors who happen to be furries and are political, who are also atheists.
But you know what?
It's
I
kind of
don't think this is not against any of you guys who listen to this, but I don't think Furry would make a good politician.
Depends
That's
on who, but yeah.
that depends on who it is. Like if there's like a
No, but for
hold
my
on. If there's like a furry version of Donald Trump, then no, of course not.
no.
Are we
Well-
suggesting that we elect a furry Congress?
Yes. But
Well,
Yes,
technically,
I am all for
definitely.
that.
Just like how we should elect Fleischer Fox as the chairman of Anthropon.
Yup.
I mean, Anthrocon.
All right, so Shudra, what's your finish that thought?
well, I lost my train of thought.
The
No.
next one arrives at about like 8:15. So
Oh well. Well, we might as well go with our next movie. Our next movie is a film called 10 Cloverfield Lane. It's a upcoming science fiction film, mystery thriller, and it's directed by Dan Trachtenberg. I don't get it either, but it's not. But it just doesn't go to say that it's also produced by J.J. Abrams. The film is written by Josh Campbell, Matthew Stucken, and Damien Chazelle, and stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead, John Goodman, and John Gallagher Jr. The film started as a script titled The Cellar, but during production under Bad Robot Productions, it evolved to become what producer J.J. Abrams described as a blood relative of the 2008 film Cloverfield. After surviving a car accident, a woman wakes up in an underground cellar where most of the film takes place. She fears she has been abducted by a survivalist who tells her he saved her life and that a worldwide chemical attack has left Earth's surface uninhabitable. Uncertain what to believe, she decides she must escape no matter what dangers she may face outside. At first, from seeing it, I thought it was like an escape from hellhole type story, but after watching the trailer and realizing that there is something big out there, I am wondering exactly how this film is going to play out. I mean, I really like John Goodman, and the fact that he is still acting is fantastic. So I'm kind of wondering if J.J. Abrams is trying to turn, Cloverfield, which a lot of people thought was his magnum anus, into a magnum opus. But only time will tell, and the film is set to be released on March 11th, 2016. So what were you going to say, Kruz?
Would that make it an escape from Butthole Story? Just kidding. I just had to do that. But first, it kind of I was watching this trailer and I thought it looked exactly like a book I read, The Compound, which was same concept, that there was a nuclear apocalypse that left everything uninhabitable, and that turned out that it was all staged.
Right. Yeah, I've seen a lot of video games that have a similar plot, whether there actually is destruction and mayhem and all that outside where you're trapped, or if it's all just being told to you. I've seen a couple games I found pretty cool. But
What are you
who's
laughing
laughing?
at? Did
Who's
you
laughing?
just now get the joke?
I suppose.
Uh,
I'm also pretty sure that Opus Anus is actually an adult movie. It sounds like one.
I said
Okay.
Magnum Anus into
Open
a
anus.
Well, no, Magnum was the actor, but I'm pretty sure
Right.
Opus Anus was a movie.
Hmm.
Anyway, but
So, what do you think about this film, Zach?
like I said, I've heard more games about this sort of stuff. It was,
For
I mean, it's
example,
interesting.
Fallout.
I was so with Cloverfield. Like, if it's anything like Cloverfield, it's gonna be like. I mean, it's a cool perspective based film. That's the thing that Cloverfield was. And if this is sort of that person's perspective, I guess they're holding a digital recorder in their hand while they're doing all this, and they're you see how they're going through all this. If it's not from their perspective and it's just as a movie, it's I don't know if that'd be better or worse. I don't. Did you see if it's that same thing where it's all coming from like a held camera or something, or if it's all like a properly done movie?
No. It's properly shot.
It's proper.
Yeah, like I mean,
proper.
there's only
It's not like
certain films
Craven
that are
Counter
like
style.
there's only like certain film styles where like the actual shots of a camera is done to a point where it's acceptable and personably enjoyable by the viewer. Like, for instance, Chronicle is all shot with a camera, but it's done in a way like to make it so that the viewer what's going on and it's not blurred by anything. But it's actually really well done. I'm not sure if you saw it, but I liked it. But what do you think about this movie? What do you think about this movie, Zachary? Unless you already
I mean, it seems like it'd be interesting. I definitely wouldn't mind watching it. Does that mean I'm gonna go out to go see it when it films? Not necessarily, but it's not. I think it'd be interesting, but I've also again heard this story before. I've heard this. Kruz mentioned the book, The Compound, which I've heard of that book, but I've never actually read it. And I've just had a couple of video games I played where that's actually like this exact story is pretty much the case. There's one where you're like held in a prison and the world around you is like all screwed up and you have to do these specific things to try and keep yourself safe in the compound you're in. Plus, like, you're getting letters in the outside world telling you people are dying. Some other ones telling you no, it's all a lie. Don't believe it. Blah blah blah, and it's weird. So it's a cool concept, but for me, I've been there, done that. I would have got the T-shirt, but they're out. So
what do you think about this movie?
I survived watching this movie.
What do you think about this movie, Shuja?
Well, for one, at first when I watched the trailer, it kind of looked like Fallout game to me. Kind
Yeah, I
of.
see that.
Really? Like, everyone is saying that
wow.
this movie's gonna be like a game. I don't understand. Like,
It's kind of like survival game. It's like,
Well,
oh my god.
I guess it's the same concept.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zach, it's
Far-
kind of like Far Cry, but worse.
Far Cry. Well, Far Cry.
Far Cry is back in the Stone Age, but it's kind of like
Yeah.
Far Cry, but like apocalypse.
Well,
Far-
the thing about Far Cry and Fallout, you get to explore an open, burnt-down world. This one, you're trapped in a room, and you're assuming they're telling you the truth, and the world is in utter chaos. Like, it could be, who the fuck knows? So,
I mean, it's kind of interesting. It's like this lady goes out of she escapes, and it immediately cuts to black. So it's like, what is going on here? I want to know what this is about.
Yeah.
So you know what? Like, it might be a film that I think might worth seeing. I am not too sure.
I think it'd be a good film to see. I just don't know. It's just because I've heard this story done before. It's nothing new to me, but that doesn't mean it's going to be bad. I would definitely be interested in seeing it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
In
What do
the
you think
book,
about
it was
this movie,
just that,
Shuja? Unless you already told me.
Should
Hmm?
Oh,
yeah.
him.
Well, like I said, it's kind of like survival.
I
I can see it. Why it's gonna be like people say it's gonna be made into a game because it's kind of like role play survival type of game.
Right.
And
I see what you mean.
we have to admit that kind of game is like booming on the market right now, like Far Cry and Fallout 4 and blah blah blah.
It's booming like terrorist-based films are booming out this week, apparently.
No, well.
Shots fired.
Well, enough about that film. Our next film that we have. Wait, what is it?
He just,
Nothing.
I was gonna say this is just Shoujo by now.
Shuja's just very adorable. Anyway, our next film is called The Brothers Grimsby, and it's an upcoming British spy action film directed by Louis Leterrier and written by Sacha Baron Cohen, Phil Johnston, and Peter Baynham. Dim-witted Nobby, played by Sacha Baron Cohen, lives in an English fishing town with his loving girlfriend, Rebel Wilson, and 9 children. For the last 28 years, he's been searching for his long-lost brother, played by Mark Strong. When the two finally reunite, Nobby finds out that his sibling is a top M16 assassin who's just uncovered a sinister plot. Wrongfully accused on the run, his brother now realizes that he needs Nobby's help to save the world and prove his innocence. The film looks funny because Sasha has a knack for playing interesting, if bizarre, and convoluted roles. Unfortunately for me, when it comes to his acting, I feel as if he's always playing Sacha Baron Cohen, like not an actual character, kind of like how Johnny Depp plays the same goofy roles. But if this film actually is funny, I may in fact go see it because British humor has proven time and time again to be a lot more funny than American humor. I think so, at least. I'm not too sure if there was ever a time where American humor could be funny.
British humor, well, I would argue, George Carlin is single-handedly our hero.
And I love Robin Williams. A lot of his stuff is good. I will admit one thing is I do honestly love British humor. It's usually a lot drier from what I find a lot of times. It's a lot more matter-of-fact than American humor.
It's a lot more blatant.
Yeah, but
American humor is meant to be a lot more like raunchier.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that.
And unless they're doing slapstick, in which case the two are pretty tantamount to similar. But
I agree.
The movie looks interesting.
I mean, it looks funny. I mean, like there's this like scene where his brother is the agent has like poison somewhere in his scrotum, and like he has to and his brother has to suck it out or whatever.
Right, yeah, I remember that.
And it's just like, oh god.
That scene, the way they set up that scene, that was still hilarious. It's like, all right, you have to suck out the poison or I'm gonna die. All right.
Like 50
what would
seconds.
You like written on your tombstone? Suck it! All right, now what font would you like that? It's like, okay, that was really good. That was quick.
Yeah, that was really good.
He told on his tombstone, he told me to suck it.
So, what do you think about this movie, Zach?
It looks funny. I was not a fan of. Well, hold on. That's not necessarily true. Borat, I never got the chance to see. And I hear it was really good. I only had issues with it because I hadn't seen it, and I never did see it because by the end of it, everyone was just quoting that movie relentlessly.
Wait, what movie? Like Borat or
Borat? Yeah. So that he was.
Wait, Sacha Baron Cohen was in Borat?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yep.
Well, I mean, like, Borat is kind of one of those films where it's only good if you have other people watch it. Like, you can't, like, watch it by yourself, is what I heard. Like, it kind of, like, takes the fun factor out of it. And it kind of becomes...
have to have somebody beside you to poke and laugh with.
It's kind of one of those films where you have to have people in order to watch it in order to be a lot more funny than it already is.
Right, but, I mean, for like I said, I didn't...
What are you talking about that for?
Say what?
I tried Deadpool the other day.
Wait, you saw Deadpool?
Cool.
And then I gotta admit, watching alone by myself is not that funny when I watch it with my friend.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I think that's
No,
true for
no,
a
totally.
lot of movies though. It's like, especially if it's something comedic, it's better to enjoy with others than by yourself. That being said, though, the reason I didn't watch Borat wasn't necessarily because I thought it was going to be a bad movie. I got so sick of hearing people imitating that voice over and over and over again. I was like, I have no interest in seeing this movie. All of you people around me, because I think it came out back when I was like just starting college or maybe late into high school. I can't remember which one it was, but it drove me nuts. And there's another movie he was in that I did see that I didn't really care for him. I think that was part of the reason I didn't want to see Borat, but I can't remember what movie that was. Anyway, Kruz?
I think Sacha Baron Cohen's an interesting person because he always plays like these weird convoluted roles. Like he was a character in Les Miserables, and whenever I see Sacha Baron Cohen, I just see him play Sacha Baron Cohen. Mm-hmm. But
so he's like a Neil Patrick Harris type guy.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, he was in
I don't know.
Borat, He was in Bruno. But
He was in
That's
that.
that's a movie I was
The
thinking. you were
Dictator. That's what I saw him in, and that was all right.
thinking.
Yeah.
Just wasn't great.
No.
That's who that I was wondering. I was sure I knew who that guy was.
Mhm.
Sacha Baron.
Yep.
Yeah, I think. I think with someone like Mark Strong is more meant to be serious, like the dummy, and then serious.
Mm-hmm.
That comedy where they clap, that's thoroughly enjoyable.
I agree. But yeah, what do you think about this movie? Do you think it's going to be good or?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but my hopes for what I know about British comedy, I think this is at least going to be get a few good laughs out of this one.
I agree. What do you think about this movie, Shuja?
Every time people hear me talk, it's start to laugh. What? Okay, about this movie, I like it. When I watched the
Trailer.
trailer, thank you.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like a spin around two characters. One is so goofy and joke around a lot, and one is way too serious, like take a chill, man.
Uh-huh.
I kind of like it, but like I said, I don't really understand most of the joke. Like if you try to tell me a joke, you have to break it down to the basic level.
Mm.
It's like if it's not something I know of, I just people laughing. I say, I guess.
Right. Yeah. The wordplay, just once again, the very dry, blatant, but also quick humor that happens with a lot of English stuff that I've seen it takes a while to get used to sometimes. So I can definitely see that.
I agree. Well, I guess we should move on to our next film. And
Wait. Before that,
okay.
explain to me what you say American humor and British humor. Explain to me what's the difference.
Well, British humor tends to be a little bit more raunchy. Like when it comes to British humor, you can get away with a lot more stuff because of cultural differences. With American humor, you can't really get away with nudity per se because nudity. When we see nudity, it's like, oh, a person's naked. We don't want to see that. But with British humor, it's kind of like the Adam and Eve, sort of way. We just see a person, oh, they're naked. Okay, that's how we came out of the body. So you know what? I don't care.
I don't get that as much as them actually. I always got it. Just British was a lot more like. What is that in the background?
Yeah, what is that in the background?
That is my roommate's phone.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Oh.
But no, it's fine. Anyway, so for me, it's always that British was just a lot more dry and blatant. It wasn't really so much that was raunchier, especially with a lot of just advertisement weird stuff. There's a lot of jokes about sex and stuff like that in American culture, as much as there is British. I see that a lot the same, but American. I think weirdly enough, for those of you who know who Oh My God Shiny is, Shiny put it best when he was actually talking about the difference. The weird thing about not even American and British comedy, but American and British film is that a lot of stuff in British media, the protagonist, the hero, he doesn't have to be the best. He's always a much more flawed character, and he doesn't always necessarily get to win. So
kind of like Simon Pegg from Hot Fuzz.
Yeah. So basically, in a lot of British humor, and just me in general, it's not necessarily that the guy you're viewing is going to win everything. And in fact, a lot of times, crap's sort of shitting on him a lot, and he just sort of rolls through the punches and does things that are relatable. These are things he kind of got screwed over. Yeah, I've known this awkward situation that he's in, how it's very weird and difficult to deal with. Whereas in American humor, you get the person who's sort of one extreme or the other. They're either really goofy and weird and crazy, and they sort of come off on top because they have this carefree or devil-may-care, I guess, attitude and blasé sense about things, and they just sort of go about doing weird crap, or they always win. It's always about, in a lot of American culture, it's always about winning. The protagonist has to be the one that everything works out for all the time. And I think that, I don't know how true that is, but
pretty accurate.
yeah, that's what it seems like whenever I see them. I mean, Chad, whoever's listening, if anyone's from England, they'll probably blow up at me, but that's what I've seen.
Well, then again, a lot of English people, like British people, kind of blow at us for like having stereotypes about them. But you know, some of those stereotypes actually kind of turn out to be a little bit true. Not all of them, but some of them.
Same thing with American stereotypes that the rest of the world has. So
I agree.
Yep.
All right. Our next film is a film that I am personally excited for, and I think a lot of anime fans are excited about. It's called The Boy and the Beast, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard about this film. Shuja, I heard, is especially excited about this film. It's directed by Japanese animator Mamoru Hosoda, director of The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Summer Wars. I'm not too sure if you saw
Summer Wars. Sorry.
Summer Wars was really good, and I really appreciate Mamoru Hosoda, who has now become the new Hayao Miyazaki. Mm-hmm. Basically, this film tells about a boy who is from the human world where a beast kingdom dwells dominion over the human. That sounds familiar. Anyways, apparently it's about a boy.
Like transfer from being a human into a furry.
Oh.
Wait.
Apparently.
Wait. Stop,
dude.
What?
Did you watch the trailer? Every freaking
wait for it.
Non-human in there is a furry.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Even if they say demon, they're still fluff.
Okay, well let me get to the plot. Anyways, it's about a boy who goes to train with a beast named Kumatetsu. And honestly, I can't really give much away here because I'm a diehard fan of Mamoru Hosoda's work. Chances are, if you like Hayao Miyazaki, you will absolutely adore this film because, especially if you saw Summer Wars, which Mamoru Hosoda also directed, Studio Chizu has a knack for making great films, such as this film, apparently, Summer Wars, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Wolf Children. Not a big fan of the ending, unfortunately, but I did appreciate what it was. So I hope this film actually does a good job. I hope he actually does a good job with this one. What do you think, Zack?
Actually, it sounded like I'd like to hand over to Shudra if he still had some comments to make. Because it sounded like Shudra had a lot to say before I talk about anything. Did you have stuff you want to say, Shudra?
Well, first of all, Scarfy, you are dead to me because you don't like Wolf Children ending. I don't know you anymore.
Wait, Wolf Children's ending?
You just mentioned it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Wolf Children's ending. I can't.
That's like you are dead to me now.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't really get over that ending, and just to let you know, I don't want to spoil anyone who has seen this, who hasn't seen Wolf Children, but honestly, I'm not a big fan of the ending, but maybe you are. So we'll just leave it at that. What else do you have to say, Shuja?
Well, for The Boy and the Beast, I'm kind of like, first of all, it's not really because of the director name got me into this movie because, great, another movie from him. Yeah, he's famous, now we're just making him more famous.
Right.
That's no big deal. That's not a big of a surprise. Anyway, I like the back story. Like I said, I like movies that have a good story.
Right.
And this one is kind of like, somehow related to my point of view, like most of the fandom, because like we are weird one and we are not the one that like being accepted in this, like when we're small. So that's why we turn to another corner of the world to find where we belong.
Right.
Something like that. That's why I like the story, but that's maybe not the main idea of this movie. But I have to watch this when it comes out. I already know I'm gonna watch this.
I was gonna say you better have something to say about it because you're the one who mentioned earlier. If it's not furry, you're not interested, and it's getting pretty fuzzy up in here.
Yup.
If it ain't got fluff, I want nothing to do with it.
If I ain't got food, I ain't interested in it.
But seriously, Shisha, what do you think about? So, are you really excited for The Boy and the Beast?
Not as much as Zootopia, though.
Right,
well, we'll get to that when we get to that. But seriously, what do you think about this film?
Well, how you wanted me to say it? If you wanted me to review the actor and the
No.
Well, I just want to I just want you to give your takes, give your thoughts on it. Like, what do you see when you see this film besides fluffy animals and all that stuff?
not like I say, it's kind of like for one way for you, like
That's
people
all
trying
it
to
is.
find a place where they belong. Because if you don't find somewhere you belong, life doesn't have any meaning behind it.
Yeah.
To me, that is.
Yeah,
I see what you mean.
That's really that's deep. Way to get deep on us,
Them's
damn.
heavy
Okay.
words, brother.
It's not. I don't want to go that deep, but it's like when you find the place where you belong, you just seem like you'll be more happy when you wake up every morning.
I'm
I see what
doing
you
I'm
mean.
doing my best not to make a joke of the fact that you keep saying you're part fox, but you just use the phrase "I don't want to go that deep." Something doesn't add up there, but
Yeah, Shuja's a wolf, people. I just
Oh, shut up!
And there's your proof right there. He doesn't want to go deep.
he is a wolf, so
Scarfy, we talk about this. Let's not bring this back up again. And you did acknowledge this like 1 week ago.
no, I didn't.
You're both pretty. Now, Kruz, what are your thoughts?
I think as far as this type of movie, I think the only ones I've seen are the Spirited Away and what's his face's castle thing.
That's Hayao Miyazaki. This film is directed by Mamoru Hosoda.
Scarfy!
Yeah, so that's like the same kind of film. So yeah, I remember I watched this a long time ago, and I really enjoyed them. And again, I have to say this would be something I definitely enjoyed too, because more recently, I guess I've been into anime, trying to watch Wolf's Rain. Our TV is stupid, but anyways, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one too.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Zach?
I mean, from what I've seen, it looks good. I know everyone's claiming this is the next Hayao Miyazaki, which is awesome, especially for this artistic director, because I mean, it means hey, when you're labeled as something like that, you're pretty well secure for the rest of your days of going into history. So I think it looks good. It's definitely something I'd enjoy seeing. Admittedly, I don't know if I'll get the chance to, but if I do, I'll definitely go watch it. Overall, though, when that phrase, like the next Hayao Miyazaki, doesn't mean much to me. I've seen some Hayao Miyazaki films, and they're always fantastic, but it just doesn't, I guess it doesn't resonate with me in the same way as it does, sort of like in the same way Disney resonates with a lot of people, where it's just that feeling of, it's like, this is my childhood, my nostalgia, like some people get really into that, and same with Hayao Miyazaki. It's like everything about him is amazing, and don't get me wrong, the dude has mad talent. It just hasn't synced up to me on a like emotional level the same way. As for this film itself, it looks great. I would love to watch it.
I just want to let you guys know that this film will only be in select theaters, meaning that you actually have to go online and look it up and see which theater it's actually playing at, because guess what, people, it's not playing at every theater. So I just want to let you guys know that.
Well, that's what select theater mean.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be very hard to find in an area probably not anywhere near where you live.
Pretty much.
Or you can just buy the DVD.
So yeah, this film I actually really like, and I just hope it, gets a lot of praise, like it has, like Summer Wars and Wolf Children did. And now, the moment most every furry has been waiting for.
All right.
Zootopia.
Dun, 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 dun.
I can hear people squeeing around the world, and they don't even know why.
I know. /Zootropolis / whatever you want to call it.
Really? Kruz, really? Oh, God. Okay, continue, Scarfy.
I will have to say that every furry, including myself, has been waiting for this movie to come out exponentially. I already pre-ordered my ticket for the IMAX 3D showing, and for those of you who are pros to 3D, and yeah, I bought my film in 3D. I have my reasons. I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, in a city of anthropomorphic animals, a fugitive con artist fox and a rookie bunny cop must work together to undercover a conspiracy. The film is played by Jennifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman as Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde. And this is where we have to stop. If we have to talk any more about this movie, we'd probably be ruining it for the special episode. So, yeah, released on March 4th. And I'm going to send Zach a link because when this film came out, I was very skeptical upon seeing it. And now that I see, and I did not know exactly where to put my expectation bar, now that people have actually done reviews on this film, which is 100%, I am like, my expectation.
Tomatoes. That is God status.
My expectations for this movie are really high now, really high, and all I can say is that I really hope this film turns out to be great because we're going to have a special guest, and towards the end of the episode, we are going to be doing nothing but talking about Zootopia and how great of a film it's going to be. It has 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. 23 critics have already written it. 23 top critics, rather, on Rotten Tomatoes have already written about this movie. I am excited. I'm sure every furry is excited. I don't want to... And you know what? I just want to say something right now. I want to review this film as a film buff before a furry first. So I just want to let everyone know hype. Okay.
All aboard the hype train.
So, Zack, Kruz, Shucha, I'm pretty sure you have a lot more to say about this movie, but you need to keep it under.
I'm just gonna say one thing.
Okay.
The only way they're gonna make me really, really disappointed in this movie is way too many songs.
Oh, yeah. Now I can understand that.
Disney.
Well, I don't think it's a musical.
If I had one.
Hey, Frozen, it's not a musical, but animation, you know.
But yeah, I have nothing to say about it. I'll see the movie and then decide from there. But it's so much hype and at the same time just so much leaked footage that it worries me. But I think I'm hopeful for it. I will
have to say, why does this, when there's 23 top critics voting 100% on this film, why do you have doubts on this film?
Meh. I've seen movies that have been acclaimed for it before. It's not that the movie is necessarily bad. Maybe just maybe I'm just.
Well, Cody Fox did say, it's gonna have the producers of Big Hero 6 and Frozen, so
neither of which are movies I've seen, but I hear they're great.
Zack, what the hell? Good lord.
Everybody have something else to do.
I know.
It's like that.
Yep, and Nero's got it down. Too much hype can kill a movie, so that's part of the reason I'm doing this. Don't
get me wrong. When the more hype came out for this movie, I was very concerned as to what it's going to be. But now that there are actual ratings on Rotten Tomatoes where it's scoring nothing but A+, I want to see if this film actually holds up to those standards.
Yeah, so do I.
So
I will. Go ahead. Sure.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's cool.
Here's the thing, Scarfy. Is Disney making it? First of all, Disney making it, I don't think it's gonna be bad name anything. Maybe. Second, it didn't. It's for once. Is when this when you sent first time back in December when you first sent me this trailer about this movie. I get hyped about it, but I never really worried oh my god, they're gonna bad name Furry because first of all, this movie is not targeting Furry.
Yeah.
In my point of view, that is because
Dr. Phil targets furries.
You
hear that? Fuck you, Dr. Phil.
Shots fired. Dr. Phil, if you're watching, please send all gripes and complaints to us on email. We'll be sure to ignore them.
Deadpool is really hyped as well, and it's soon to be the #1 grossing R-rated movie. That's what we're hoping, Joe Clark. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure everyone wants to see Passion of the Christ, kick the bucket. We have a new Messiah in town, damn it.
Right there. There it is. Naka Inu, thank you. Duke Nukem forever. Sad face. Yeah, it's like, exactly. It's that same thing of, it's like, hype can kill it. But that's the other thing. I'm kind of just not being hyped for it just because, like, I'm sure it'll be good. But if I got fanatic about it, there might be things I just, like,
yeah, that kind of kills the excitement before you can even see it.
I'm gonna go into it just as like I have with like any other, you know, fuzzy furry animal sort of kidsy movie, just for like, yeah, this is, you know, it's probably gonna be kind of nice to watch. And then if it's like amazing, then awesome. If it's not, then it's like, this is a kids movie. So, but it'll probably, like I said, it'll probably be fine. But critics and I don't have the same views of what we like in movies. That doesn't mean what I like is more important or better, but it's
I'm the film buff of the treehouse. So you should.
And I don't honestly love you to death. I don't give a shit.
Stay on your side.
If you're the person who's a film buff, then that's fine. You know more about it, but that doesn't mean you and I like the same things. So I'm not watching this because it's what everyone else wants to do. I'm gonna go watch it because it's like, oh, this looks interesting, and I want to see it. So, but
that's my whole take on it. I mean, like, I'm not saying that, oh, well, I want to see it because of furries. That's like, I just want to see it because it doesn't have to have furries to be badass. It just has to be badass to be badass. You know what I mean?
You are wrong when you say this right.
Rebuttal.
Yeah.
Like it must be fluffy to be badass.
It doesn't have to, though.
It's not a rebuttal. That's more of an edit, really. But yeah, but beyond that, I do look forward to seeing it. I don't have any big good or bad expectations, but that's where I stand.
Bum bum bum.
Kicking ass and chewing gum, and it looks like I'm all out of gum. I'm not too sure what that quote is. I'm pretty sure it's from Deadpool or whatever.
No, that is not from Deadpool. You're a movie buff.
I've only seen Deadpool like twice.
It's not from Deadpool.
Okay, where's it from?
Hold up.
What's it from?
I
forget the name of the movie.
Evil Dead, but I don't think that's it. Oh no.
It's not Evil Dead, but it's like that. It's the guy who has glasses and that can see zombies.
Yeah.
Something like that. I forget the name of it.
They Live.
They Live.
It's a movie in 1988. I always thought that came from you. So admittedly, I didn't know where it came from. But no, it's everywhere on the internet nowadays too. It's a very quoted line. But yeah, it came before Deadpool. Anyway.
Okay. Hey guys. Guess what?
What?
No.
We're still not done.
Okay.
Damn it.
So we have another film. That was it for the movies being released, and now we have the upcoming films. Our first upcoming film is The Light Between Oceans. It's apparently a love story. I'm not too sure what to say about it. Honestly, it's just, a certain thing. And then the next one we have is a upcoming film is The Man Who Knew Infinity. I think it's a film starring Dev Patel and Jeremy Irons regarding a certain I want to say it's like a certain genius who comes up with these math signals from India, and apparently I just think it's one of these
so it's like A Beautiful Mind.
Well, no, I mean, like, it's not a beautiful mind. It's like he doesn't have a disability. He's just from India who happens to know these things. And then finally, our last film that I want to talk about just really briefly is a Disney film that is being remade called Pete's Dragon. And for those of you who know what I'm talking about, Pete's Dragon was a film made in the 1970s. Really corny dialogue, really corny actors. I mean, and before I say corny actors, I'm not going to judge Mickey Rooney because Mickey Rooney is a fantastic actor. You should definitely see him in more stuff.
Crazy as hell.
He's crazy as hell, but he's fantastic.
Yes, that's true.
I mean,
no one could spell his name. Don't worry.
But yeah, Pete's Dragon apparently is about this film, about this Disney film about a person named Pete who has a pet dragon. Basically, the 1970s version was very, very corny and cheesy, and I kind of do think that this film is actually could be better than the original film. Thankfully, it's not a musical film, which is really, really good, because I don't think a musical film would fit this, film well. But I love what Naki Inu just said. I might want to get down with the sickness. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. But yeah, Pete's Dragon, like, what do you think about this film? Like, after seeing the trailer, Zach?
That's that little bit of gibberish. That's about my reaction to it. It's like it looks cute, I guess. It didn't reel me in. I mean, like, it's not the same as obviously the last two films, Zootopia and for some reason I can't remember the order of it for the title. Boy and the Beast or Beast and the Boy?
The Boy and the Beast.
The Boy and the Beast. Yeah, those two. I mean, like, those two are closer.
Or in the Japanese version,
Scarfy,
What?
please speak language I do understand.
I
But
said Japanese version.
yeah, but
It's made in Japan.
You're not speaking English.
What were you gonna say, Zach?
I would say the movie itself, this new, the little Pete's Dragon, it looks cutesy, but I'm just like, I don't know, I'm not really interested in it. I get my daily fill of cutesy being around like Twitter and talking with all the animal people I do every day. So I have no, if anything, I'm about to OD on cutesy, so I'm not necessarily drawn by it. But otherwise, I don't know. What about you guys?
Kruz, what do you think about this film?
This is actually the only one I think I've heard nothing about in this sequence of films.
Wait, Pete's Dragon.
Surprisingly, it doesn't ring a bell. I don't know why.
Oh well.
It's the one that I didn't know about. I mean, I know about literally every movie in this. I broke my brain.
You shoved so much movies at us that you've literally broken us, Scarfy.
I broke.
Anyway.
What do you think about this movie, Shuja? Pete's Dragon?
Never heard of it. Watch the trailer. Not interested.
Like I said, we get our fill of cutes already. Well, Shudra is his own fill of cute. I mean, basically for Shudra, it's like looking in a dragon mirror.
No.
I agree. And that's it for all the films released. I know people are like, finally, let's get to the video games now. It's like, and before I move on to Zach, I just want to say one thing. Shuja is still a wolf. And yeah, Zach.
Shut up.
Zach, all right. Now let's move to video games.
One day I'm just gonna set up a coup and just like have it be that Kruz and I are just gonna sit in the background and let you two hammer out this during a live show one day and not say anything. It's like, well, this is just gonna be that, and you can talk in the comments and say who you support. If you support Shudra's life decision of being part fox or Scarfy's denial of such a request, but this is a continuation of the crazy it's gone for a long time. Anyway, the first thing I just want to say to throw this out there is Far Cry Primal. I've talked about it a few times already. It just got released on the PC. We talked about Shudra and I were talking about it earlier. It's an awesome game. I'm not gonna say any more. I've already talked about it enough. But in the first and I think like third episode, I've talked about it. But it's on PC now. It was on PS4 and Xbox One earlier. So go check it out.
And it's also in Steam, and it's way too expensive.
And I lied. Sorry, it's out March 1st, so it's still coming up this coming week. But it's gonna be out, so go check it out. Now, for games that are actually coming up in this week, we have something that I'm sure is an absolute favorite to many people, Mortal Kombat XL. For any of you who have not played any of the Mortal Kombat games, I don't know how you did it. That's impressive. I think everyone I know has played a Mortal Kombat game at some point. But basically, XL is for all the... By the way, apology. I talked about this before, Mortal Kombat X. And I always call it Mortal Kombat 10 because I figured they're just doing the Roman numeral thing.
Lesson 4.
Yeah.
You must know how to fight the emo way.
Lesson 5. Don't listen.
But apparently,
Lesson 5, shut the fuck up.
Apparently, it's not Mortal Kombat 10. It is Mortal Kombat X, unless XL stands for, I have no idea, something
Extra
ridiculous.
large.
Yeah. So
Lord.
it'll be on the shelf soon. It's set to be released on March 1st. It's going to be for the PS4 and the Xbox One. So it's all the usual bone-breaking, blood-spurting, over-the-top graphic violence that we've all grown to know and love from NetherRealm Studios. It's a time-old tradition, time-old franchise. It's been around. I think the first time I ever played Mortal Kombat was back when Sega Genesis was a thing, which back is also when, Sega was still a big name in the industry. This version is going to be bringing you a lot of brand new characters and a lot of new skins. There's going to be the Xenomorph from Aliens. Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a playable character. Goro is making a comeback. A lot of other stuff in like characters, skins
Toasty.
were I hope that's in there. Were only available through DLC. This is sort of like a Game of the Year edition. It just packages them all into one. I don't know if there's any addition to the story or if you play any of these characters. Honestly, I only ever played Mortal Kombat X with a friend of mine, so I only did the player versus player stuff. I have no idea how the story mode worked. I don't know if there's gonna be new stories specifically created around these certain characters. But if you're a big fan of Mortal Kombat, if you want to play more weird, bizarre characters and get to all the good old fatalities, brutalities,
Flawless victory.
Kamehameha-talities, whatever the hell they've thrown in there these days, you're gonna want this game.
I really haven't played any of the Mortal Kombat games. I know, really shocker, right? I mean, like I've heard of Mortal Kombat. I know all the memes. It's just it just really hasn't been on my radar.
I'm just in it for the memes
that I watch.
like I said, I've played it ever since Sega Genesis. I played it all the way until I think the fourth installment of it came out, and then I sort of just was starting to drift away more from just those video games to just RPGs and more mech games.
Oh God, fertility.
Yeah. But yeah, I do remember that they're just getting more bizarre and over the top, but it's a brutal game. Like I played X again, it's like the X-ray cam where you get punched in the face and you see the jaw unhinge and teeth crack and like the bone, like all the weird like organ busting weird stuff that obviously none of this is survivable, and that's not the point. It's basically if Street Fighter was having a really bad acid trip, you've got Mortal Kombat. So it's crazy and brutal, but yeah, it's interesting. So what do you guys think? So Scarfy, you haven't played much, but do you have any thoughts? I'm surely you've seen it played or been around it.
I've seen certain memes about Mortal Kombat. I've also seen videos. I saw the one where this person, I'm not too sure who it was, but they basically cut this body in half and split it open and goes, "Here's Johnny," and I forgot who that was, but I'm not too sure. But anyway, I've never played Mortal Kombat, so I wouldn't really know what to say about this film. But what do you think, Kruz?
I played Mortal Kombat X on it was my friend's PS4, and I thought it was pretty cool. I guess I don't have a favorite. I like playing as Reptile because I heard the Skrillex song of Reptile's theme first before playing any of it, first of all. Nice. And so I'm like, I like his intro. Like, what is it? It's like, the Emperor sends for you or something.
Shang Shu?
No, it's like the Emperor has requested me to take you in or something like that.
Right.
Probably sounds a lot more epic than that.
Johnny
Cage is a dick.
Oh shit!
Yes, he is.
Oh yeah.
Johnny Cage is such a douche.
I always like playing Sub-Zero, but that's just because freezing people for a second and then going over to beat on them was cheap and effective. So, but everyone had a different character they absolutely loved. Johnny Cage dies in every Mortal Kombat thing ever nowadays, if I remember correctly. Which is interesting that he's still around in this game because there's so many things where I've seen animated things, and of course, the second Mortal Kombat live action movie, and they were doing another live action movie of Mortal Kombat that was some indie film, and in all of them, it's Johnny Cage is the first dude who dies. But
that's it, you die.
That'd be satisfying.
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up.
Right now, I just want to bring something up real quick that I forgot to bring up on the film part of the film section. Right now, the Oscars are going on right now, and I'm gonna say this right now. I decided not to watch the Oscars because I was kind of expecting, Best Picture to go to someone else that I'm pretty sure is not going to win. So that's part of one of the reasons why I didn't want to watch it. The second reason that I didn't want to watch it is because I'm doing Subwoofer Entertainment with you guys. So I just wanted to get that out of the way.
On us now. Nice job.
I am not blaming it on you. You're more important to me than watching some dumb old show.
You heard him, guys. Scarfy Senpai has noticed us.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So I just wanna make that real clear right now. But anyway, Shuja, what are your thoughts on Mortal Kombat XL?
I never played Mortal Kombat. First of all, I never liked that. Like, the winner always bitching about it, and like look down on you when you lose.
Yeah.
Second, it's get way too competitive.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Okay. And I go to the tournament with my friend, and I just watch, and it's get way too competitive, even more than Smash Bros.
Right. Yeah.
Also, yes, Leonardo DiCaprio does deserve the Oscar. Just saying that right now.
Okay, I put in the chat.
Not really.
It's like Leo, like crawling out of his grave and be like, "I ain't dying until I get that Oscar."
But yeah, Scarfy was checking the chat, Chojo. If you're confused, how the hell Leonardo DiCaprio, I assure you, is not a new character in Mortal Kombat, though that would be quite amusing. But but yeah, no, I don't understand. Like, I remember some of my memories of Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, and even like Mario Kart and stuff. Like, I liked playing them, but looking back, like me and my brothers, because I story time about Zack. Besides, you guys, my brothers in life world, this thing that I try to ignore by being a fuzzy alcoholic wolf. Me and my brothers used to play it all the time. I was the youngest of 4, and it was highly competitive. Like, there were thrown controllers, there was all sorts of crap over like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. So yeah, I can understand the competitive aspect not being appealing.
Yeah, I agree.
In Mario Kart, the one game that would always make you want to strangle your friends.
Basically.
The one
Why
game
did
that's
you
gonna
pick
break
Rainbow
your friendship.
Road?
What's that, Chidra?
I'm saying like that one game that's gonna break your friendship.
See, that didn't break. Breaking it for me all the time was always Monopoly, the board game. That's what killed friendships.
No. You know what's gonna be funny because they developing a game like copying.
My friend, you want a game that can actually ruin friendships? Try Mario Party. It ruins friendships all the time.
Not that one.
Oh God.
Try this one for Sai.
What?
It's either coming out at the end of this year or summer. The My Little Pony fighting game.
They're still making that?
Yeah,
I thought they gave up because Hasbro didn't want graphic violence with their characters.
It's like the system fighting is kind of like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. It's like, so you want to see Princess of the Friendship fighting your asshole? Here you go.
Well, bronies, you heard it here. That game is still on if there's any of them listening to the stream or listening to the recording. So there you go. I thought Hasbro nuked that because they didn't want violence associated with their characters. Granted, the internet's a terrible, terrible place, and there are far worse things associated with the My Little Pony characters. But we won't talk about that. Moving on. The next game we're talking...
We never speak of that here.
The next game I wanted to mention was Tom Clancy's The Division. For anyone who's a big Tom Clancy fan...
Oh yeah, I heard about this one.
Yeah. I've never played Tom Clancy or any of the series.
I'll admit I will never be any sort of like military tactician or anything like that in any form. I was never good with organizing my team and putting proper strategy into what I'm supposed to do to get the objectives. I didn't really have the patience for it. But this is the latest installment of Ubisoft's Tom Clancy series. The Division places the player into New York City after an epidemic has hit and left the metropolis in disarray. Sort of a throwback to what Scarfy was talking about with that one movie of, trapped in a room, the world outside you is in shambles, except you are out there in that world and you are dealing with the shambles that are to come. Like the usual for a lot of the Tom Clancy games, the player will take on the role of infiltration and military strategy, which again I suck with. But instead of just organizing a team yourself, I think this is going to be a lot like, what was that game really heavy in guns where you're playing with a team. Not like the other
Metal Gear Solid?
not like the other military ones. There's one where you're like literally in space. It's sort of like a Space Marine sort of game. Those
Warcraft?
what?
Starcraft?
No. Well, no. There's this other game I can't think of. I was going to compare it to that, but I honestly can't think of it off the top of my head. If I think of it later, I'll mention.
For a second there, I thought Shu just said star crap.
Oh, no. But
Dusty, you are insulting of my favorite game of all time. You are dead to me on the second time.
that's 2 deaths. Everyone counting 2 deaths of Scarfy. The team. So basically, you and other players will be on a team together. You're all working as sleeper agents, and you all have your unique sets of skills, weapons, and devices to help contain and combat the illness that's been spreading and bringing more and more chaos to the city. The game itself is graphically beautiful, but then again, with most of the proper A-list games coming out, graphics are expected to be beautiful. Not to say there's not hard work put into them, not to say it shouldn't be mentioned, but most of the games we'll see nowadays are looking more and more pretty. It does a fantastic job recreating creating a broken down version of New York City. For any of you who've ever been there, there'll be street names, areas that are based, exactly off what was there in New York, what has been around New York. From alleyways to being inside buildings, outside buildings, famous landmarks. So it's going to be very immersive from what I can tell. You'll feel like you're there. And the game should be available for PC, PS4, and Xbox One all on March 8th. So thoughts? Did I lose you guys? Am I talking to myself? Yep. Give me 1 second and I will have the kids back. Let us see. And click. Hey guys.
What happened?
I don't know. It just said that the call went to sleep. But this game.
I don't understand why it would work on you. Yeah, you're back. I don't understand why that would happen to you, considering the fact that, yes.
What do you think about the game? Where did I lose you?
Dude, we couldn't hear your entire conversation that you were going to bring up, so you're going to have to restate everything you just said.
Start over.
Yeah. I am so sorry. Uh-oh. Now they said that they can only hear Zack. Uh-oh, this isn't good.
Let me see. Oh, well, that's just because the chat's earlier. They're going to hear you guys in a second. You got to realize there's a 10-second delay on the... Yeah, so spoiling some of the magic for you, there's a 10-second delay from what you guys hear versus what we're saying. So if you want to throw us off, you're going to have to be really on your game by pushing something wild in the
chat. What happens on the chat.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so basically, the game. I'll do the short version. Takes place in a broken down version of New York City. The graphics look great. The game is probably pretty spot on because Tom Clancy's been doing this sort of infiltration stealth gaming for a long time. There are going to be a lot of landmarks and like alleyways and stuff and buildings that are a scale representation of New York, so it should be very, very immersive. And the whole idea is that a virus has overtaken the city. It's a lot like the movie you mentioned earlier, where the whole outside world is in disarray, and you're told that it's because some virus has taken over, except in this situation, there definitely is a virus, and you're trying to contain it. And you're playing on teams, trying to contain this virus. All the teams are actually other players, and each of them have their own unique skill sets, weapons, and devices to try and contain the outbreak. So...
it's kind of like...
I just want to bring something up real quick, and I'm sorry to keep talking about Oscars right now while we're talking about video games. But if Mad Max Furry Road, yes, Furry Road, we're not calling it Fury Road because Furry Road is is what it's called. If Mad Max Furry Road wins Best Picture, please let me know.
Fair enough.
You are insulting me. No, there are no.
For Tom Clancy's Division, honestly, I don't know what to say about this film because, quite honestly, I'm not a big fan of. I haven't played any of the Tom Clancy games, so I'm gonna have to sit this one out.
Okay. Also, it would help the fact that it's a game, not a film. But continue.
God, dang it! I meant to say game. I apologize. I have nothing to say about this game. I don't because I haven't played any of the series. Please let me know.
What
Damn
about
it, Zack, you beat me to it.
Sorry, I was on my game of that one. What about you, Kruz? Did you play any of these games or know much about them?
Tom Clancy games? I think I've only played one. I don't remember what it was, but uh, yeah, I'm not much into these games, although I do enjoy them when I get to play them
Mm-hmm.
because I have Battlefield 4
Oh,
and
okay.
I did have a good time because I just love to dick around in those games because I had the brilliant idea to try to crush my enemies by shooting down the ties that were holding down a plane on an aircraft carrier. Problem was that the plane was right on top of me and ended up crushing me.
Well, as long as you took out more than you lost, so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, I'm not supposed to play these games.
Fair enough. And Shodra, do you have any thoughts about the Tom Clancy game?
Tom Clancy game. So first of all, in New York City, that sure sound like prototype. But then it's
Oh
going.
yeah. No, I said yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of that.
It's kind of sound like prototype, but maybe. But then it's shifted. To me, I really like Metal Gear Solid game because I like how the game function. But so far, this game is not sold on me from what I
Mm-hmm.
see. I already watched the trailer for this game too and said, not really my cup of tea.
Right. It's definitely a much more what's that I'm looking for? It's much more for like people who are into tactics
Yeah,
than anything
which
else.
is like, I guess it's gonna improve your tactics skill a little bit, but
Right.
unless you want to go into military school, then you don't need that stuff.
That's true.
Gotta go finish.
Unless you're interested in hardcore StarCraft like me.
Right. And it's a different thing than that because at the same time, not only is it tactics, but it's being part of the team, not just commanding an entire team. So, but it's once again, it for me, and I agree with you guys. I'm not really sold on these games because it wasn't really my thing. But
But here's the thing: if I want to play something really hardcore on tactic, play the new XCOM game. Holy
we mentioned that last time, and yeah, it's definitely everyone I've talked to that got that has been loving the new XCOM 2. They've been mad happy with it. So
because it's frustrating at the same time, but the game is so fun.
So you've been playing that?
Yep,
Awesome, cool.
I got annihilated in 3 days.
I annihilated in 3 days.
So Zach, what's up next?
So for a change of pace, before we get to the last two, which are larger titles, a smaller title came out recently that looks really interesting. It's more of a creepier psychological thriller sort of game by a indie group called Team Gotham. The game is called The Guest, and in The Guest, you play Dr. Leonov, who wakes up in an unfamiliar hotel room, locked in there with no idea how he got there, who put him there, or why he's locked in. So it's sort of like if any of you guys did the old Flash animation games, there's a bunch of escape the room games where you were it's basically a more well done version of that with more cinematic scenes, more difficult puzzles, fantastic graphics. There's a lot, like I said, a lot of riddles, a lot of puzzle challenges that you have to do to escape it. Aesthetically, it's really somber. Like the only way I can think to describe it is if you imagine a film noir, like a detective noir sort of scene, and then gave it color, but still had those like darker tones and lighting of everything. Yeah. And it's there's also a lot of like weird stuff that you go inside your head, that's part of cinematics that's almost like a mental breakdown of a conspiracy theorist when you look at it. Just like there's parts where it's like writing on the wall and the dude is obviously losing it for being trapped in this room. It's PC gamer specific to the best of my knowledge, and it's coming out March 10th. So, but I just wanted to put that out there because it's a cool little game, and it's something that probably hasn't gotten a lot of attention, but wanted to throw something new in. So, what about you guys? What do you think of this?
I don't know what to say about this game, so I have to sit out.
Fair enough. You've never played any of those old Flash games with you're trapped in the room?
Nope.
Oh, wow. Okay. What about you, Kruz?
I played some of them. This kind of reminds me. I don't know if this was what the game was called. I've watched PewDiePie play through it. It was The Apartment.
Yeah.
Like cinematic, more cinematic type
Right.
experience.
I really hate
Such
PewDiePie.
as angry about something.
I
knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I don't like
Scarfy.
PewDiePie. I don't like PewDiePie. I don't like PewDiePie.
Save it.
He's
Save it.
Kruz.
Put a pin
please
in
die, pie.
Okay.
Put a pin in it.
Kruz, good on you. Good assertion. Anyway, continue with your thought. I applaud you. That was great.
Forgot I'm not supposed to say that word.
Yeah, it's fine. It's what I mean. Like honestly, I've seen some of his stuff, and he's done some good reviews of games. I'm not a big fan of his. Honestly, I have other YouTubers I like much more than
He's not a
him.
Let's Player.
He's what?
He is not a Let's Player. He just sits there, screams like a little bitch, and plays a game.
Yeah, that works. It's worked well enough for him to make a living
pretty
off
much
it.
what a Let's Player is supposed to be. Screaming like a little bitch.
I was say it's like I mean like I said I'm not a fan of PewDiePie for a lot of my own reasons. I don't want to get too much like on this topic, but I am a fan of like Markiplier, and he does a lot of the same thing. Like maybe it's not the same like notes, and maybe you could say voice is not as annoying or something because Markiplier does have a sexy voice. I'll give him that, but they both sort of have like very similar.
How deep.
Similar shticks, like how they go about stuff. They both sort of review a bit, but they also just sort of are talking about like their impressions. So it's not even saying it's like, oh well, this developer does yada 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 yada. It's just this is what they're feeling. They go by, and they both are pretty bluntly honest, and it's done well for them. My main love of Markiplier is just the fact that he's a lot more. I might be wrong about PewDiePie, and if someone wants to tell me in the chats differently, feel free to. But I don't know how much PewDiePie gives back to like charities and stuff. I just know Mark does a crap ton of charity work, and even does donations just out of pocket of his own wealth that he doesn't have to do. There's no reason he has to give money to charity, but he does it anyway. And encourages people to.
I think most YouTubers do something.
Yeah,
like
but he
that.
also.
Well, I just think that the way that PewDiePie does his work is just that he wanted to. I don't think he's a Let's Player. I think, what he does is for his fan base is great, but I think there are better Let's Players out there, and I'm just going to say that.
I agree. I like the other ones more than
players, yeah.
too. But I just don't have the same hatred of him that you seem to have. It's just he does something that I'm not a fan of and makes money off it. Good for him. But yeah, so that's all I really have to say. But what about anything else on the game, Kruz? The Apartment?
Not really. Well, I don't know. It just seems like I haven't like been able to play a lot of these, but I figure I really liked Amnesia and Outlast, and figure that it would be a new game to get into.
Yeah, I'd see that. What about you, Shudra? Have you played any of those escape the room flash games or know about the guest?
I play a lot of those kind of games. Basically, the room. I play room 1 and room 2. Took me like 1 week to crack 2 of them.
Right.
But still, it's kind of type of game that I can. Luckily, they have like phone version of it. I don't think there's a different like computer version or not because I never really play on PC before. But like I play on my phone, and it's like. It's a really interesting game, but I'm gonna stay away from it because I get hooked into it and I fuck basically everything, to play that game. And say, fuck off, I'm busy.
All right. One side note I'm just gonna say is that NeuroFox just oh, I know this guy. Okay, sorry, he just plugged was it Penguin Zero? Yeah, I've heard this guy before. He is really funny. Yeah, I like stuff. He's not my favorite, but he's definitely really good. So I just want to give that shout out to the next person. So that's that game. The next one I was going to talk about, which we're going back to the popular titles, is the new Hitman that's coming out. And I got to imagine all of you guys have at least heard of the Hitman games.
Nope.
Really?
So. I'm not sure.
Really? I mean, like this was. I remember when it came back out and when it was just like a PlayStation 1 release. I think. I don't think it came out. I think it came out on PlayStation 1. I didn't think it had to wait till PlayStation 2. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. But it's Hitman is a long-standing game of basically playing a professional killer. Um, it's sort of I guess the best way to put it is it's like GTA with class. Like it's if you have played the previous titles from it, it's done by IO Interactive and Square Enix, and
I
this
love Square Enix.
yeah, Square Enix does a lot of cool stuff. They
Yeah,
have their
boy.
hands in a lot of pots, and this game is sort of taking the usual, like before it was very, you have this a target, you have to kill them, don't get caught, don't be detective, be clean, efficient. You have to do like your own crime scene cleanup so it can't be traced to you, use different weapons, different ways of taking them out for a variety of reasons. The trailer is really cool about it. One thing the trailer doesn't mention that's really interesting is this game is being released in installments. It's parts. It's going to start with the first episode as a prologue in Paris. According to IO, the next two chapters are going to be coming out. The first in April, and that'll take place in Italy. And then the next will be in May, and that'll take place in Morocco. So it's sort of a world tour sort of thing. I know. Huh?
I'm just saying it's interesting.
Yeah, I know that they're moving to. I think there's going to be one in Japan and one in Brazil. I don't remember if that was confirmed, but there will be more coming out like by I think a monthly basis. The cool thing is with each of these new settings, some of the content and the missions, how you do them, how you give feedback, how you go about working it, was actually going to shape the Hitman universe, like affect what happens in these games. What you guys decide to do as the players playing these games, it's going to change what future games do. Future games are going to go back to this as sort of a platform for shaping the worlds they create from there on in, which is both a really effective, strategy in terms of like, customer research, but also it means that they're giving you guys the power to make the next world, to make it the way you want it to be. So for anyone who's become enamored of this title, it's definitely going out of its way to immerse you guys in the game. Like I said, I've played the first one. I haven't played since. I remember it was kind of fun, but when I played it, I was really young. I preferred GTA, and I just wanted to drive around and blow shit up. In this one, you get to do that, and it's a lot more calculated. Again, it's a lot more tactical, which if there's one thing we know about me, I lack tact. So, but the prologue will be coming out on March 11th. It's going to be available for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And I, honestly, the other games I haven't played, but I recommend it if you like the series. And I wish that there were more game franchises that were doing game titles that were doing stuff like this. It's just such a cool way of getting people involved and excited for a new realm of what gaming I think should be. But what do you guys think?
I do apologize, but I'm gonna have to sit this one out. I've never played it. Again.
Yep. You're hereby not allowed to give Shudra any crap for setting out on movie discussions. What about you, Kruz? I'll take that as a nothing.
Hey, Kruz, are you there?
Yeah, he's there.
I think I missed.
Say what?
Kruz, are you there?
Yeah, GTA got my attention. Blowing stuff up is fun. Yeah,
We're having some technical difficulties with Kruz people.
GTA got my attention. Blowing stuff up is fun.
Right.
And I also like the idea, sure,
you like the what? I missed that last part. The blowing stuff up is fun is what I got. What was after that? I think we're gonna have to try and work with fixing up. Nope, there is.
Going around and blowing stuff up. And I like the idea you can.
So Kruz, I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to suggest if you can hear me and send it back to you, just because we'll be getting to music soon. If you want to if you can hear me, I'm also going to just message you. If you want to close down and restart your computer, then rejoin us. Then that way there should be less issues on your side. Because it could also be that we've just been online so long that things are just slowing down for you. So if that sounds good, go ahead and do that, and we'll still be here, and then we'll be getting to your stuff pretty shortly when you're back on. Okay. I'll see you in a bit.
Hitman.
Nope. All right, didn't hear that. All right.
Am I on?
You are. Can you hear me? Nope. All right. Well, actually, what I'm going to say is let me put on a small tech difficulties. The last thing actually is a game that we have is going to be a game that I know Scarfy is incredibly excited about. One second, Kruz. Can you hear me? All right. Hold it for a second.
Hello. Am I on the call?
You are. Can you hear me?
God.
All right.
Can you hear us?
No, I can't. Gonna take care of this. And now the musical stylings of Subwuffer. Action, I'll give
Making music.
you that.
With music, you are terribly wrong, my boy. And you know what, Zach? I've been listening to your music a lot. What did you put in your music? Something like heroin, something?
Wait, what?
Now I cannot go on without listening to one of your tracks on SoundCloud.
I don't know. I'm glad you're liking it. I don't want to plug that here, but I'm glad you're liking it. Yeah, just random stuff I do with Shiny when we get the chance. The next game that I want to talk about, if we can. Okay, so Kruz dropped off. He's taking care of that. Is The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. Let me actually also get this back to the way it should. All right. So obviously everybody knows about Legend of Zelda. Kruz? Nope, sorry. Shudra. I get you confused, obviously, because, you know, you guys look and sound nothing alike. But it's... Zelda series has been ongoing for ages now. We just talked about this last episode, actually, Scarfy, didn't we? That there was recently an anniversary of Zelda.
Yeah, 30-year anniversary, rather.
And Scarfy, you better not sit this one out because this is your game.
Yeah.
I am not sitting this one out. No. In fact, I have a lot to say about this game. So I'm just gonna let you and Shuja have the floor with this one, because for me to talk about this game, you literally have to put up a pillow and listen to what I have to say about this game.
Okay, you got 20 words. Summarize it.
20 words. Is this going to be like a whole bunch
of... long stories?
No, denied. You guys go on.
Sorry, deny objection.
It'd be like a whole bunch of MLG hashtags, just random, like, you know, words flaring to the sousaphones. So Nintendo has heard the pleas of many fans and decided to re-release Twilight Princess in high definition on their Wii U console. It seems to be a trend going on with recent years to re-release some of the old games like Pokemon did. We talked about how Pokemon was re-releasing for its anniversary. Final Fantasy VII is doing a remake with its game. Hey, how's it going, Kruz?
I don't think that was Kruz.
That wasn't Kruz? Oh, I thought it was him. Okay.
No, that was me. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I like Final Fantasy VII a lot. That's why I say.
Right, yeah. And that's, I mean... You can say what you will. Some people don't like the idea of doing remakes. I have an issue with it with some movies sometimes and some games, but a lot of the stuff they're doing now...
That's more fun for me.
Yeah. A lot of things that they do, it's like, it's between... I've had this before where I've said, it's like, oh, well, remakes are just an easy way to make money. But looking back, I sort of regret saying that simply because making a remake of an old game, doing it justice, and putting it in current day graphics is a lot of work. And it allows for a newer generation who, you know, going back to older games and older graphics sucks. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't want to go back to that because we're so spoiled by the new stuff we have. And
mostly... Basically, people don't like pixel art game a lot anymore.
No. Well, you know, aside from the Undertale craze, But there's times where that kind of animation it works, and it's more of a throwback, a nostalgic feeling. But overall, when they're redoing games, it's definitely to make it look beautiful. And Twilight Princess does look absolutely flawlessly gorgeous. From what I have seen of it, I doubt it's going to disappoint anyone who gets it. If you want to relive the glory days in Hyrule, you're definitely going to enjoy picking this up again. And for the new generation to first hold this, they're going to be able to be just as immersed as you were, from what I can see. The game itself is pretty much just a straight-up re-release, just cleaned up. I know they have a new hero mode, and the hero mode is basically going to allow you to play super hard mode, basically. There's double damage done to you, no heart drops, mirrored obstacle courses, so everything to basically screw with your mind. But Twilight Princess HD is coming out March 4th, and I know one person, again, Scarfy said he had plenty to say about it, but first, Shoujo, if you have any thoughts, and if Kruz is back, he's of course welcome to comment as well.
I am.
Cool, and you sound great. Are we coming in well?
Yes.
Great.
Finally.
Awesome.
So go ahead, Shoujo, tell me about what do you think about Twilight Princess? Or have you
First
really
of all,
never
I
played
haven't
Zelda?
played any of the Zelda. I'm not even know what the heck is it until
Wow, I have never heard that from a gamer in my life.
Scarfy showed me that image of the figure that he's gonna buy back around December last year, and I said, interesting. Who the heck is this guy?
Right.
Who's
Who's Zelda and why am I playing him? It's not.
Oh God, Goose, you can be a DJ now.
Anyway, also apparently, you're not alone on that. Cody Fox apparently, from what I can tell, unless he's being sarcastic, apparently Cody Fox was not a big Zelda fan, which is interesting.
I really hope Cody is being sarcastic about that one because I am a huge, huge Zelda fan, and for him
I
to
can
not
tell.
really experience Twilight Princess, I'm gonna be super, super offended. But other than that, keep going. Whoever wants to talk about Twilight Princess, Kruz, Zack.
Kruz, you have thoughts?
Come on.
None?
Come on.
Oh my God, Goose, it sounds like sadness in Inside Out right now. Can you gotta give me like a few hours?
All right. Well, Scarfy, you go ahead. I know you're brimming with things you want to say about this.
I most certainly am. I have a lot to say about Zelda Twilight Princess. So I'm gonna ask everyone to give me the floor right here and to just stay quiet for me to talk because I really have a lot to say about this film.
So, Scarfy, quick question, just quick add to before you
Yes,
start.
Shuja. Yes, Shuja.
You only got 5 minutes, and you better summarize it in 2 minutes.
Shuja, I am not going to give you 5 minutes. I'm going to tell you that right now. So, I'm sorry, but I'm going to ask everyone to give me the floor here and just let me speak so pull up a pillow, guys. I'm just going to let you guys know that right now. Pull up a pillow for this one.
Story.
When it comes, yes, story time.
Alone.
When it comes, okay, can you be quiet now? Gosh.
No.
When it comes to Twilight Princess.
Whoa.
Oh God, Goose, this was perfect. Oh God.
All right, guys, mute up your mics for Scarfy, and we'll let him regale us with his tale.
Okay.
you know,
Knowledge.
but come on, I'm being serious here. Okay. Now, when it comes to Twilight Princess, I'm a little 10-year-old, I'm a little 11, 12-year-old boy, living in an apartment, and my mom is currently in college. I am playing Wind Waker on my GameCube. I beat Wind Waker, and it was my favorite Zelda game that I love. And, I want to just say right now, I'm living in a middle to lower class suburban area, and my mom decides to take me to go to Target. And when you're a 11-year-old boy living in a middle lower income suburban area, Target is fucking Disneyland. That is all I can say. And I go to Target, and whenever we go to Target, I always want to go to the electronics section of Target, because I just thought, this is one of the greatest parts of any video game. And I'm going through Target, and I see there's a tech demo for a new Zelda game, and I'm like, I couldn't really read the little bottom of the game, and I'm going through it. I watch the tech demo. I see Link running, and then I see him transform into a wolf, and I was like freaking blown away by it. I watched the trailer over and over and over again, and by the time we left, I could not stop thinking about that trailer. I could not stop thinking about, okay, what the heck is going on? I want to know what goes on in this trailer. Twilight Princess is one of the, and you would not be surprised. You would not be surprised as to how much this game really impacted my soul. I went to middle school the next day, and I immediately went on Zelda's website, and I kept watching the trailer on the school computer over and over and over and over and over again. I wanted to be Link in that position, transforming into a wolf, which was one of the game's mechanics. And I go on to see it. I literally am just very surprised by how much people didn't really care about this game while I was in middle school, because I hated everyone in my middle school, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm just, I hear that, and after that trailer, just nothing, just dead silence for about another year until the Wii was supposed to come out. When Zelda came out, and it was around the time that the Nintendo Wii came out, I, by all the heavenly blessings, thank for spending hours upon hours on a Black Friday sale in the middle of the night, freezing her ass off to get me a Wii U, and she had someone to borrow Wii, and she had someone who had to give her a blanket because she was so cold, just to buy this Wii U, and it was freezing. This Wii, God, I keep saying Wii U. This Wii, and I opened my Wii on Christmas Day, and I got exactly what I wanted. I got Twilight Princess, and I played Twilight Princess for quite some time. And I just remember thinking to myself, wow, this game was so fantastic. This game was so amazing. The graphics was just beautiful. And I loved the fact that, and I couldn't, but something changed inside me. I played Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess, believe it or not, is the one game that got me into Furry. And you know what? When I look at that and I realize, and I want to make something clear, when I was a young kid in middle school, and rather high school, I thought, I couldn't be more stupid about knowing what furry actually meant. It wasn't until 2013 where I actually did decide to become a fur, and I'm a fur right now. And all I can say is that, yeah, Zelda is the game that got me into furry. And you know what? I mean, Grandma, all I can say is just, you're amazing for getting me this game. I am convinced that had I not played this game in childhood, I wouldn't be sitting around here talking with you guys. And you know what? I'm just, I'm so happy. I'm so thankful. And yeah, that's really all I can say. You know what? Twilight Princess is a game that I hold very near and dear to my heart. All I can say is that, when it comes to this film, I certainly do hope that you give this game a shot and you give it to your kids. When they announced Twilight Princess HD, I went on Best Buy and god damn it, I bought that game because I hold that game very near and dear to my heart. And you know what? I sincerely hope that you play this game for yourself, because while it's not my favorite Zelda game, I still would consider it's my second favorite Zelda game. I would not have been furry. I would not have been furry. I think I want to say this is what got me into the fandom to begin with. And you know what? That's really all I have to say, and you guys can go ahead and unmute your mic if you want.
All right. Everyone, feel free to unmute if you missed that. So,
I'm sorry, like Scarfy, but like every time you say like Twilight, oh my god, he talking about My Little Pony. Oh my god, he talking.
I see. So this is
Wait.
the brony in you is showing more and more, my dear brother. But yeah, no, I can see that. I don't know what's going on with Kruz's internet. He just jumped back off. Maybe that I'll take over what we're thinking. Just to let you guys know, during the comment, I was talking with Kruz and Children I'll talk to Scarfy more. We may switch up the order. So earlier in the day, it seems the internet's less crazy until everyone hops on it in the place Kruz lives. So we might switch it up. Kruz, are you with us? So we might switch it up in the future, but we'll talk more. That being said, do you have anything to say about Scarfy's story, or do you want to move on to the music? And if Kruz can do it, awesome. If not, I'll do it.
Well, do you have anything to say, Zach?
No, I mean, it's a good story. It was nice. Your grandma, as Joe put, is the real MVP. Beyond that, I mean, I enjoyed it. I liked it. Good story. Gives us a little bit of insight into you.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can move on to music if you want.
Sure. Kruz, are you there? Are you able to do the music? Or
Uh-oh.
that's a no. I just get a little message from Kruz as his face drops on the screen that says "motherfucker" in all caps. I'm like, there are ways to say no, and that's certainly a way to say no. Are you with us?
There are children here. Watch your language.
Well, I mean, you're here, but also, it sounds like you got a lot of feedback in the chat, though, Scarfy. Lots of hugs.
Yeah, I am
Glitchy.
now.
Also, apparently, Mad Max has been winning plenty of awards.
I'd like to get the stuff done before I get kicked out again.
Okay, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Kruz? All right. Well, but yeah, speaking back on that, the chat was saying inspiring speech. Like I said, lots of hugs. It's really nice. Got some applause from Joe. And apparently, Cody thinks you deserve an Oscar. So you did pretty well.
Yeah. An Oscar for best speech. Okay.
There you go. But yeah, apparently Mad Max has been winning all sorts of awards. So
Hopefully it wins best picture. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm pretty sure, as great. I'm pretty sure as much as I love Mad Max. I'm pretty sure the Oscars are gonna downplay that film. I'm counting on it. I'm counting on Oscars giving that film giving best picture to someone else. I'm counting on it.
Well, we will see, definitely. Okay, so Kruz can't hear us, so I'm probably just going to go over the music really quick, and we'll talk about resolving this next time to stop with the internet crazy. And I feel bad because once again, Kruz is just far more knowledgeable than I am on this subject. But he is kind enough to provide upcoming in music. Killswitch Engage has come up with a new album, Incarnate. It's seventh studio album of theirs, and it's set to be released on March 11th. December of 2015, the band released "Strength of the Mind" as a lead single from this album.
Zach, I just wanna say something real quick. Try and go a little bit slower on the music beat so that people can catch up on this film on the music, because like I can understand that the people in the chat are having a bit of a delay. So if you can go slower so that people might talk about it, that'd be really great.
You're in, but we also hear you sketching. Scarfy, you do realize that a delay is going to be that they're going to hear everything at a normal speed just 10 seconds later, right?
I know.
But Kruz, can you hear us?
Yes, finally.
Perfect.
Now,
Can you talk about Killswitch Engage's album Incarnate? Because you know more than I do.
well, I know Killswitch Engage. I know they're pretty heavy. I know it looks like this is going to be more of a, relating to their deathcore and that kind
Right.
of crowd. Their turn of Memphis Mayfire.
Mm-hmm.
So not into that as much, but I'm all for it as long as it's.
As long as it's heavier, yeah.
Wait, can you? I don't know if I'm still
Yeah,
good.
yeah, you are.
Not.
Go ahead. Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Yeah, just keep
Three
talking.
doors down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Three doors
Doors down. Us and the night. Yep. So apparently it's their first one since Time of My Life in 2011. Hiatus.
Uh-huh.
And now they have new guitarist Chet Roberts and a new bassist Justin Bill Tonin, I think it is, and then built in.
Biltonin sounds like something you'd buy over a counter for like nasal congestion or something.
Biltonin.
Does it? Have you heard any of the samples or demos from this? Is it like, have they gotten better since their 5-year hiatus? Have they changed a lot of their style, or?
I'm not sure because that was back when that was like all the stuff I listened to, like Weezer, Blink-182, all that crap.
Right.
Like, but now I've moved out of that phase, so I haven't checked on them recently.
Okay.
Is the thing.
I'm gonna say this right now. There is this one song that I really just do not like about Three Doors Down, and that's Kryptonite. I really don't like that song. That song really annoys me, and I hope that song shoots itself in the face and goes kill itself. But it's not going to do that because, unfortunately, everyone's
It's the song.
heard of it, and I just really.
And the fact that it does not have hands or appendages, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. What do you think about Three Doors Down, Shuja?
I think
So
we
what?
actually do you know the band Three Doors Down or Killswitch Engage, Shudra?
No, I'm guessing that's metal music.
Killswitch is a little heavier, but Three Doors Down actually was more. Would you say alt rock, Kruz?
Alt rock, pop punk,
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So, They're good stuff. They did a bunch of really famous radio songs. That like Three Doors Down was one of those bigger names. Actually, so was Killswitch, but
What's the song?
I'm willing to
Yeah, they were
listen
a radio
to it. I
band.
never know of any of the band. So,
right.
well, you got to know me. I love Disney movies, so most of my music are Disney music.
Okay, that makes sense.
Relating to that,
Anime music only.
what was it? X Japan. That one I heard that one of their songs is apparently on the soundtrack for 4.
For Fallout
still
4?
on? Am I still on?
You are for Fallout 4?
They're for what's it called? Saw 4.
Oh, Saw 4.
One of their songs
okay.
is on that trailer. Not that trailer, I mean soundtrack.
Interesting.
And yeah, it's an interesting kind of creepy video game music style. Japanese. So it's like the way the singer sort of if I can imitate it for part of the song, which was interesting. And it just kind of gives to that creepy atmosphere.
Right.
And then it turns to real emotional. It's kind of an emotional song I heard. By the way, the song is called 4, which is just stylized IV given to that it's from Saw 4.
Right. I think it's gotta be interesting to
Five
be
Nights
one of those bands that's well known for being part of a movie specifically. Like I know a lot of people. I loved a band that is an old country bluegrass band named Jillian Welsh, and I love that band to death. And they had one song that was on a movie called The Strangers. There's this record that's skipping and it's playing a song by them called My First Lover. And it sounds really creepy with the radio skip. And even by itself, it's these very discordant, dissonant notes and stuff. So it kind of has that air of unease to it. But like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Jillian Welsh, blah blah blah, like started talking about after that movie because they all heard that song, went and looked it up, and it's just like, it's got to be interesting to be a band and get your break through like one of those movies, and then people come and listen to your music afterwards. But yeah, I guess Jillian Welsh also did music for Oh Brother Where Art Thou, so that's besides the point. But yeah, anything else?
No, I mean, there's nothing really. There's nothing really that I can say about the music being released. Unfortunately, there was a ton of music that was just being released that I've never even heard of in a day before in my life. So it's kind of I thought. Oh, and The Revenant wins Oscar for achievement in cinematography. To be honest, I really wanted The Revenant to win in that because the cinematography in The Revenant was gorgeous. But other than that, when it comes to music, there's nothing really much I can say about this here.
Fair enough. Shudruff, any other thoughts?
Okay.
I guess not. Shudruff, thoughts?
Nope.
All right, and Kruz, are you still with us? I think he was able to do his civic duty just before his internet went out on him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like most of this is like rock band. I'm guessing like heavy metal music.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really like the first thing in the morning. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna look for some new music.
Hello?
You're back, but you're cutting up.
Yep, you're cutting up. Other than that, do you mind if you can go on Gmail and see if there's any letters for us today, Zach?
Sure. Yeah, give me a second. All right, let me see. Someone has their Telegram on really loud. I keep hearing the little telltale doodle-doo of it through the
Oh, that's my thing. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. Just turn that down. All right. Right. I was gonna do the Gmail thing. And that is not the right Gmail. This is the problem with having a computer that has like 10 different Gmail addresses on it. It always redecides what it wants the default to be. So let me see ours. And the answer is we have Currently have none that have come in the last week, but to reiterate the point, if you guys have any questions, comments, things you want to hear us discuss or talk about in the next show, feel free to email us at subwooferentertainment@gmail.com. It's right there on the image you're seeing of us being silly and the text. And similarly,
And I just wanna make something clear because we haven't been having any letters lately, and like I don't understand why people have not been, going on letters because I thought like this would take off, but apparently no one is just interested enough to send us letters.
They just didn't have thoughts at the time, probably. And there's also Twitter. You can reach us there. We're there available for direct message or anything else.
You can also reach us on Twitter. You can reach us on Tumblr. You can reach us on subwooferentertainment@gmail.com. You can send us letters. We'd love to answer questions about things that we don't even know. But yeah, I just want to let you know we will not be having a show on March 6th because we will be taking a holiday off. But other than that, do you have anything else to say, Zack?
No, not anything. Send me the Tumblr information someday so I can upload the little contact information here. So,
Shutter, we just want to Shutter about that. Email addresses will not reveal the names because the email address name is simply Subwoofer Entertainment Treehouse.
No.
Unless you're
for theirs, if they don't have a furry one set up, or it could be linked to their real name, that can be an issue. I hadn't even considered that.
Okay, well, if you prefer to remain anonymous, just please say that you prefer to remain anonymous in the subject so that we can read it and so that we don't have to give your name.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Or just assign it with whatever your handle is if you go by another name, and we'll say from that person.
Please do. But yeah, is there anything else that you want to say, Zack? Do you want to close this out?
I do like Joe's response. We will not disclose any personal information, which is true. We won't. We have no reason to. If you tell us not to, we won't. But no, beyond that, thanks everyone for joining us. We appreciate you coming by, and like Scarfy said, feel free to send us letters. We like answering questions, and we like learning about new things. We look up what we can find and see what's interesting, but you guys are the ones who come out and listen to us, so we'd love to talk about stuff that you find. I'm Zack Gray.
Guys, I just want to, and I just want to let you guys remember that we will be going we'll be taking another week break on March. We will be back on the 13th. My name is Scarfy.
Do we have a Shujwa to say his goodbyes?
Yes, I thought you were gonna do it, but like my name is Suja, and I fuck deal with it.
You're not a fox. You're a wolf.
Deal with it. Shade.
You're not.
Shades on your character in this. And Kruz, do we have you to say goodbyes? No, I think Kruz is still out. But thanks, Kruz, for even with crazy internet being able to report on the music for us today, because I would have been like a flounder out of water. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome.